the women's side this is yet another year where the women's side, even though that it's kind of uniform at this point that the number ones make it to the Final Four, even though UConn as a number 2 ranked in the Spokane region is 2. While yes, it is more uniform throughout the years that the women kind of all the top seeds make it. I think that this is yet another year where the tournament has been more exciting on the women's side. As unfortunate as it is, I never want to see anyone get hurt, but I think that maybe the fortunes could have been a little different if Juju Watkins didn't get hurt, especially against against UConn. Now, Paige Beckers has been on a tear. Like she has been by far the best player in the tournament. It hasn't even been close. I mean, she has a 40-point game. She has multiple 30-point games. In fact, in this tournament, can I see what she's averaging in the tournament? I don't know exactly what she's averaging, but in the tournament, but Paige is getting buckets. It's not even funny. She has been, in my opinion, the best player in the tournament. While I don't know, you can argue that UConn's been the best team or not, but Paige for sure has been the best player. And they're going up against a UCLA they're a wagon too. Like they ain't no slouch out here. They're led by National Player of the Year candidate Lauren Bates. Kiki Rice is averaging 5 assists. And Lauren, her tall, that's tough. I think that this is so interesting because I think Paige Beckers is probably one of, at least the remaining players, the hardest player to guard because of her quick shot and her ability to shoot the ball at such an incredible level. But then Lauren Bates, she's tall as hell. Like, she's going crazy. But then again, they do have Sarah Strong. She was lighting it up against UCLA. I'm not UCLA, against USC. There was a lot of aspects of that game, USC and UConn, that kind of concerned me when it came to UConn. Even though it looked like a dominating victory, there was multiple times where they would be up 15, they'd be up 20, and then USC would cut it to 5 or cut it to 4. And it could have been different if Juju played, but she didn't. I don't know how Sarah Strong is going to have the game of her life. And UCLA is going to have to defend like crazy against Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd, who was having a bad game against USC until like the fourth quarter, and then her and Paige just started taking turns lighting them up. I think that both of these teams at this point of the season, obviously being the Final Four, are evenly matched. They both have an incredible leader, Lauren Bates and Paige Beckers, and I think that it's going to be more about the supporting cast. Which supporting cast is more reliable and which supporting cast will be better? And in my opinion, from what I've seen this entire tournament, I think that it's both of these teams have been destroying people. The closest game that UConn played in was against USC, and the closest game that LSU played in was UCLA played in was LSU. I'm going to go on a limb and say UConn. I think UConn's going to beat UCLA. I think that they have the bodies that can really affect Lauren Bates, and I don't know if UCLA has the group of players that can stop this version of Paige Beckers. Again, she's on a tear. But then again, they did beat UCLA or USC in the rematch. But the first game, or maybe it was the reverse. Juju destroyed them. I'm gonna go UConn. I think UConn is going to win. Then you have Texas and South Carolina. Now, I am rooting for everyone black. That's not debatable. So going into it, outside of Maryland, I mean, I'm from the DMV, and we're going to talk about the Maryland's men side in a second, but I root for my teams, which is North Carolina and Maryland. I know people like, how? Maryland's not part of ACC anymore, so come on now. And I'm from there. I grew up about 40 minutes away from the University of Maryland campus, so I got some ties there. I have not liked what I've seen from South Carolina. It seems like now they have played incredible, don't get me wrong, but it seems like they have this is one of those years where they don't have that player. You can say is what Malaysia Foley. I just butchered that woman's name. Let me get this correct. I apologize because I don't want to butcher her name like that. That was crazy. They Malaysia Fuwale. She's been great, even though Joyce Edwards leads the team in scoring. Chloe Kitt's been really good, but they don't have that player. They don't have that Asia Wilson. They don't have that Aaliyah Boston, that person that can and everyone else is playing bad and just put the team on my back. Now, everyone has been great. Bree Hall has been great. Raven Johnson. Everyone has been really good. In fact, they have 7 people averaging over 7 points. That's incredible. But I don't know, because there was multiple times, like how they played, they could have and maybe should have lost to Duke. They could have and maybe should have lost to Maryland. I think they went to, that game was extremely close. It's just, it seems like they've struggled a lot more than I thought they would going into this tournament. And you're going up against a Texas team that has been dominant, even against TCU and Haley Van Lith, who's been on a tear. Texas's closest game was against TCU, and they won by 11. Like, they're not messing around with nobody out here. When you have Madison Booker, you have Ronnie Harmon. She came back from injury and has been tearing it up. I don't know. I think that, while yes, I would like to see Don Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks repeat, I think that their road to championship probably stops against Texas, because I just don't know. I haven't seen them, at least in this tournament, consistently be able to score enough to beat the top tier teams. And Texas is incredible on defense. So I think that the national championship is going to be UConn against Texas. I would like it to be South Carolina, but I think it's UConn and Texas. I could be wrong. Who knows? But yeah. Yeah, that's what I think. Obviously, these are my predictions. Again, on the men's side, I have Auburn and Duke making to the final national championship, and I have Auburn winning the championship. In the men on the women's side, I have UConn and Texas winning the national or making it to the national championship. And I think I'm going to go with UConn winning the national championship. That's what I think I'm going to do. So, again, I'm not going to be here when the championship happens. So, we'll see. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.